Hello, welcome to JIBRIN ANGLE on OWELEKETV. My name is JIBRIN and this is my angle. There is something that is I can consider to actually label a bomb as bombshell. Honestly, it's a bombshell revelation, and I think this needs to be shared and go viral. Honestly, this is one of the issues I have been talking about concerning Nigeria and the corruption around it. And I think I have somewhat a lot to talk about on this, but just hold on with me. Let me play this video for everyone, for all of us to watch, and I'll make my comment thereafter.
You know what I'm talking about. You can Google as I talk. What is californium? Californium.
Is a state in the United States?
No. It's a precious stone.
Oh, not California.
That's why I want to tell you this.
Californium.
Californium in today's market. Google and tell me the price before I finish talking. In today's market today, in the world market today, one may ask, in Borno State, there is Boko Haram. There are areas that are still mined, now no-go area. The weather is harsh. It's very unfriendly. It's a small place. But there is something the international community with the connivance of Nigeria. Every day you have NGOs
coming into,
and they are hiring houses from 10 years, 20 years and above. And once you give them the price, they don't ask, they just pay. What are they doing? Why are most of them coming with satellite telephones? Why are most of them coming with PCs that are working with the same satellite telephones?
Computers that are working directly with satellite.
How come most of them come under the guise of supportive activities to the poor? They are giving them medication. Did the Ministry of Health bother to discover the type of medicine they are giving to the poor? How come there is increase in kidney and cancer, kidney and liver and cancer problems in Borno? How come it is attacking old people? How come the NGOs live in the wee hours of the night where soldiers dread to go? Police, security men cannot go. They go this californium that they take per day. How much is a gram of californium in world market today? Who has Google to know? 27,100,000 per gram. $1 million. I didn't say naira. Yes, it's the most expensive thing.
Do we have it in Nigeria?
In abundance in Borno State. That's what started the Boko Haram. That's the game. Are we aware? How can we be ignorant of our country, of our place, of what God has given to us? If we don't know your country, what type of leadership are you coming to give? You are a liability if you don't know. How can we be supporting ignorance to say that's where we search for leadership? What can we do about it?
Somebody should read it out. How much is californium?
Okay. Californium is...
Talk to the mic properly.
Californium is $27 million per gram, not kilogram.
So how many grams is in a kilogram?
1,000.
1,000 grams makes 1 kilogram. And 1 gram is
27 million dollars.
So 1 kilogram
is the most expensive. You know when I knew this? 1996. And one of the offenses we committed to some big men is getting to know this. We were tagged enemies and it should not be known. 1996, I was tagged. Remember, at that time, there was the first campaign against me in Concord newspaper, front page, the Iron Man behind Abacha. That was the beginning on how to destroy me. And all for Nigeria. And I'm doing it for our well-being. If you sit down and say Kuwait is rich, how can we be seeing our relations, our parents? Whosoever you are, a mother is a mother. You see mothers carrying wood. And that's your mother. If you laugh at her because she's poor, she's your mother. You see an uncle trekking, some without shoes into the farm, toiling the soil. That's your father. It doesn't matter which part of Nigeria he comes from. It doesn't matter whether he's a Muslim or Christian. These are our parents. How can we have these riches and be seeing poverty all around us and we think we're comfortable? What am I going to tell God Almighty? I'm a deceit? I'm a liar? It is better I offend any person in telling him the truth and standing by it than to offend God Almighty. That's the way some of us are. That's why we're not friendly with some of them.
The Niger Deltans can not drink good water, no hospital.
In fact, Niger Delta, let me tell you one of the little homework we have done. Out of numerous that you are aware of, you know spillage that you see in Niger Delta?
This oil spillage
is deliberate.
Oh, it's deliberate.
It's a game. Let me tell you what it is. You know these rubber plants, the plants,
yes,
is harder coming from water, correct?
Yes.
Once there is spillage and it stays beyond a month, part of it becomes rotten and hardened. And then when money is paid for environmental cleaning, that plant in itself that is soaked in oil, they will now take it along. No, take it along. And when it is now regrilled, refiltered, is the best energy for nuclear plants. So that is to say, environmental degradation, environmental pollution is an investment at the expense of our mothers, at the expense of our fishermen in South, at the expense of their health. And who has ever spoken about this? I'm sure you never heard of this.
Are we getting educated? Are we getting educated?
Yes, sir.
That's why some of us, I know I'm a northerner, and I know how much we invested in getting to know the ills and the abuses against our people. In South, there are many people unconsciously are being used against the environment. Little money, weapons, drinks, everything goes. But they are killing the country. They are killing the family. Look at the health. Go to Port Harcourt, take your bath.
Come out and see.
Come out, 10 minutes after, take handkerchief, clean your face.
You are oily.
That is what you are inhaling into your lungs. For how long? How much of this health hazard is affecting people? How much have we done in cleansing the environment? How much have we invested in having clean air? Since 1965, drilling is going on. We don't care about the health and welfare of the people. What is our name? You have too much money, and when you are to use it, a certain foreign country will tell you never. And so we have the resources, but then the resources is owned by animals. That's the way they see us. How can we accept that?
This is, in fact, I got lost in the video, honestly. Now, viewers, as you noticed, this is actually an old video. I think this video was shot in 2022, about 2 years ago. I'm surprised I never came across this video, but I'm surprised it didn't go viral. But I think while it is a bombshell to me, and obviously to several people, there is something that I found conflicting that he said about Californium. The cost is correct. The quantity is not, is what is doubtful, because I just searched Google to find out about Californium. Actually, californium is a part of radioactive element that is used for nuclear facility or nuclear power or whatever you wish to call it. So the cost is correct, about $27 million per gram. But what is conflicting is the amount that El Mustafa, sorry, I forgot to, for those of you who don't know him, that was the man who made this confession, or this, not really confession, but a kind of exposure of this corruption going on in Nigeria. Actually, is retired Major Hamza El Mustafa. He was a kind of kingpin. Let me use that word, because he was dreaded. He was actually people, the press labeled him a monster during the Abacha regime. He was Abacha's chief security officer at the Aso Rock then. So he was very, in fact, Al Mustafa then was more popular than even the service chiefs, chief of general staff, chief of army staff, air and naval staff. It was more popular and even more powerful than them. So everybody knows that. So he was that powerful. He was just a major, but a major that wielded so much power. Some people, powerful men in the society were at his beck and call. That is it. So obviously he knew so much while in power, and I think he discovered so much, and he got to find out so much, and he experienced so much. So I think he has a level of respect and a kind of and trust when it comes to information of someone who have information of an insight, or rather of an in-depth corruption in the system, whatever. So that is it. But he has made, during the 2023 election, some of us know him as someone who, I think, as one of the candidates then under the AA party, Action Alliance. Is it AA? I think so, yes. I think Action Alliance Party. And he went ahead, he made so many revelations and disclosures of so many things and areas of corruption in the system. Now, that was then. Now, I'm talking about this, while it is a bombshell, what is not clear to me is Google. Again, honestly, I do not trust Google. The truth is, I'll come back to why I don't trust Google. But the truth is, the only what let me read this content. Let me read about this californium to you guys. It says a gram of californium 252 can cost around $27 million. This makes it more expensive than lutetium, but less expensive than francium. Wow. So many solid minerals that I never heard of before. This is strange to me. Californium is a radioactive element that is used in research and in the petroleum industry. It is also used in portable metal detectors to identify gold and silver ores, and to identify oil and water layers in oil wells. Californium is expensive because it is highly unstable, and only a half gram is produced each year. Did you get that? Mustafa said this solid mineral is found in large quantity in Borno State, Maiduguri, Nigeria. And Google is telling us that the quantity first, one, it is unstable. That means it's not like any or every other mineral resources that it's just it's stable. It is there. You keep digging and you find more and more like that, and it's probably around the same spot or the same area. But so unlike such solid minerals, this is unstable. But perhaps you find you find it here this year, and maybe the next year again it's not there, but probably a different spot or thereabout. I think that is what I can understand to be unstable. And the second point is that while Al Mustafa said it is found in large quantity in Borno State, Google says otherwise. Going by Google, what El Mustafa said, the quantity El Mustafa is talking about is untrue, because in a year there are only in a year. Where is it written? Blah 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 blah. Californium is expensive because it is highly unstable, and only a half gram is produced each year. Only a half gram. Now, the only half gram obviously is not globally. That means probably wherever it is found, at whatever in whatever spot it is found, probably at that particular location, you can only find half a gram in a year. Okay, maybe let me just understand El Mustafa to mean that, okay, in Borno State, we have it in large quantity, probably in different spots, multiple spots. You can find half gram here, the other spot, half gram, all over the place like that. Okay, let me assume that is what he was talking about. Okay, I think that is clear now. It's either that or something else, but that is clear. Now, let me move to my point, the point of this video. The point of this video is the issue what I have been hammering on for months now. Not just for months, for several years, but on social media or online or on my show, it's been for months now. But I've written articles on this for years now, sort of. So I've always expressed my concern, my worries on the relationship between Nigeria and the West. Now, he mentioned Borno State. We all know that Borno State, this is a hub, a de facto headquarter of terrorism. That is the origin of, that location is the origin of Boko Haram. Yet, you see an influx of serious high traffic of Western countries, Western citizens flooding that same environment. You have so many NGOs, from United Nations to WHO to so many international organizations. Some of them are governmental, some of them are non-governmental organizations. So you ask yourself, what are they really doing there? But just like he said, just like he noted, El Mustafa noted, that they come in the name of charity. I have talked about this issue before, that the West actually, in the guise of trying to help us or try to help in humanitarian gestures, they actually perpetrate heinous corruption in Nigeria on us. And they don't do it in isolation. They do it in collusion with our leaders. And that is the point here. Now, if you notice, this video was in 2022, obviously during Buhari's regime. This has been going on, obviously, for a very long time. You heard what he said. He discovered this whole thing, I think, in 1996. Is it 93? 96, he said. So it's been happening for a long time, and this probably has been from the foundation. There are so many there are so many solid minerals. Apart from the liquid minerals that everyone, it is not clear that the West have been exploiting us on that. We have so many solid minerals that is being stolen away in connival with our leaders and our politicians. On daily basis. Zamfara, why do you think Zamfara state now is the hotbed of terrorism or kidnapping? This is exactly what it's doing. They are literally mining solid minerals. These are states that are so rich in solid minerals. Nigeria is so rich with all, I think about 10, 12 or thereabout years ago, I wrote an article about Nigeria, and I think the title of the article then was Nigeria and the Enemy Within. And I wrote another article in similar form again, that Nigeria, a country in limbo. And in both articles, I enumerated how much Nigeria, how great, how resourceful, how rich Nigeria is, both in liquid and solid minerals. And through my research, solid minerals, we have in the world globally, we have about 60, I can't remember, between 63 and 67 solid minerals globally on Earth. In Nigeria, we have about 50 something, I think 52, 51, 52 of this solid minerals found in large or commercial quantity. That is something that is huge enough to actually generate us income to sustain a significant number of our economy. This is outside crude oil. Outside crude oil, that is our major resources. In fact, solid mineral can actually measure up. The solid mineral we have in Nigeria, that Nigerian government and politicians are conniving, they're conniving with the Western world to actually steal our wealth away, can be compared in practical measure, can be compared to the liquid oil the liquid mineral that we have in crude oil when it comes to resources. IGR, right? Internally generated revenue, IGR. Yes. So the truth is, this is what Nigeria has become. Unfortunately, it keeps getting worse. I bet you under Tinubu, there is a documentary I'm trying to put together. Actually that will enumerate all the bad policies and the corruption and the bad actions and all the ill things that has happened under Tinubu in just less than 2 years. Less than 2 years. A documentary, I'm working on that, and I think I expect it to come out soon. So the truth is, this is one of the numerous, not even one of the numerous, this is the basic reason why I believe, and I've always expressed my belief that democracy is not it's not suiting to our environment. Our environment cannot absorb it. We cannot tolerate it. It's not in our culture. It's not in us. The environment is not enabling. It is not conducive for democracy. The system called Nigeria is extremely rotten. It reeks of stench. Thereby, democracy cannot solve this problem. What Nigeria needs at this moment, it's either a revampment or an overhaul. Now, you may say both of them they mean the same thing. No, they don't. One is revampment, the other one is overhaul. Revampment is a little bit on the surface a little bit milder than overhaul. Revampment, the area of revampment, there are two options now of revampment. These two options are revampment and overhaul. On the revampment angle, I expect the military to play a role there. A purposeful military intervention. That is what will help us with this revampment. Purposeful. When I say purposeful, I mean military team that are courageous, that are sincere, targeted, and a team that are focused, that will be focused on doing the right thing. Not a rapacious team that are coming in to continue with the status quo. A new generation of officers, military vibrant officers that will actually take over and revamp the entire system. Revamping the entire system is, when I say revamp, I mean from top to bottom. Clean up the house. Clean up the house. So that alone, that will not, there's no doubt, that will not completely eradicate corruption. It will not. But it will go a long way to at least getting us to a level where we can say, okay, we can breathe a sigh of relief. That is number one option. My own solution, the old solution I can suggest, or I am advocating, not even suggesting, I'm advocating strongly. I've always advocated for military. I prefer military regime rule than democratic rule. I have stated this in my previous videos. I've done videos that are long, detailed enough to give you the reasons why I prefer that. There are cogent and practical, objective reasons actually why the military is better. Military rule, to me, is better than democratic rule. One of the major reasons that democracy is just bogus. It's just too expensive, and there are so many bottlenecks when it comes to democracy, to getting things done, and with so much money to whatever, and there is no accountability. Nigeria, we just can't fit in to this democracy. And that is just it. It's a Western idea selling it to us for their own personal interest, not for our own good. That's why they are destroying our country. They want the West actually, they work hard to perpetuate Nigeria in corruption. That is it. They don't want it to collapse because they have so much interest in what they are getting from Nigeria. So they wouldn't want it to collapse. What they are doing is to keep managing the situation, keep sustaining this way while they keep milking us continuously, indefinitely. And that is it. And that is why I remember I don't know if I'll call him the most patriotic Nigerian military leader that we ever had, Sani Abacha. Remember during Sani Abacha was against the West. Was the West hated him, and probably that is why they took him out. Of course, everyone knows that the West were involved. The West was involved in the killing of Sani Abacha, and so that is it. They took him out because his policy, everything, and Abacha never traveled to them. He never traveled that much. He was always in the country, and probably African countries, and he was actually performing well without them. He tried to prove to them that Nigeria can actually grow without them. And we can grow without them. We have so much. The resources we have both human, capital, natural resources. We have all the resources of what it takes to actually withstand some of these Western economic superpowers. Where was China some 20, 30 years ago? Nigeria was in the 80s, early 80s, 1982, 83. A dollar was about 50 naira. Is it 50 naira? Not 50 naira, 50 kobo. Sorry. 80. Yeah, I think. Yeah, then Peugeot was around 7,000. Is it 7? Yeah, 7,000, 5,000, 545, then 5,000, 7,000 or so. 504, I think about 5,000 or thereabout. Then Mercedes, I remember them, Mercedes was about 20,000 naira. At that point, dollar was 50 kobo to a dollar. So even naira was even more powerful than dollar then. Here we are today. A dollar is selling at almost 2,000 naira now. Nigeria. So back to solution. Now, the second option is the elephant in the room. It is a very, very precarious option. It is an option that should be the last resort, but I see it coming. It is an option that should come to play when yes, it's an option that will come to play when the military rule fails. And what is that option? Violent revolution. That brings me to the second. The military is revamp. Then violent revolution is overhaul. Violent revolution, that will overhaul the entire system. Why I say that should be the last resort is because it's going to be a violent revolution will be deadly, but unfortunately, I dread to see it come to pass. But if that will be the yardstick or the catalyst to Nigeria being great, at least for once, because Nigeria was never great. Nigeria being great measuring up to its supposed status, economic status, because we have everything. We are among the best brains in the world. Wherever you find Nigerian in the world, any country find Nigeria, among any country you go, you see when you in any profession, the moment you find you see a Nigerian there, that Nigerian will be at the forefront of success in that particular field, that specific field. And it is so globally. In the US, there are countless Nigerians that have excelled in their respective area of expertise, more than other nationals. So we have everything. So this violent revolution is not something I dread. I do not desire. I do not pray it come. But if that will be the catalyst to our being great for once, then so be it. Regrettably, people will die. Innocent people will die. Culpable people will die. The people who deserve to die will die. Unfortunately, that is not, we do not. But I am so sick and tired of Nigeria getting worse and worse and worse and worse by the day. Every successive government that comes becomes worse than the previous. It has become so frustrating that we are tired of being perpetuated or perpetually impoverished, to the extent that we have become sit down look now. We have become helpless while our leaders keep ripping us off. So sad. So sad. Anyway, this is my angle. What is your thought? I know definitely Nigerians we do like ourselves, we like our lives. Nobody wants that, even though no matter how hungry we feel we are or we are feeling, we still want to live. Yeah, I want to live. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, sacrifices must be made for our children yet unborn, and some of them born, and some of them yet unborn, to benefit from our sacrifices. Because if we keep loving our lives, like our Lord Jesus Christ said, if you love your life, you will lose it. He that loves his life will lose it. And he that loses his life will get it. And so that is just it. I don't want to die, but if God says my time for me to die has come, so be it. And that is just it. So the issue of making sacrifice, it should be something that is organic, and there are people who are designed and destined to do this. And that is just it. Everybody will not die. Probably just a few people for something great to happen. And that is just it. And who knows? People may not even die. It could be, and the people that may die may not be the innocent ones, but those people who are really culpable, who actually deserve to die. That means our leaders who have been and still been fleecing our economy, our commonwealth. That is just it. So who knows? Because revolution is something no one knows how it goes. It could be peaceful, which is rare. It is to be difficult for. I don't expect any peaceful revolution to actually overhaul the Nigerian system. It will be difficult for a peaceful revolution to overhaul. What will overhaul the system, Nigeria as a country, is definitely a purposeful, not just directionless, a purposeful, focused revolution that possibly could take some lives, unfortunately, but it will yield result. As long as it is focused and purposeful, it will yield result. And if our dear countrymen or our leaders do not change, either of these two options will eventually take place. Military, in fact, that of the military, I just pray that the military takes over. That is the option I want, at least. Then at least military to be able to at least cushion the effect, at least a kind of reduce this corruption by a kind of revamp the system and reduce the corruption, not eradicate it completely, but corruption will always remain there. Even the US will have corruption is really, really prevalent in the US as well. So there are so many Western countries that are corrupt, but not as corrupt as Nigeria. And so, and that is just it. I hope our leaders becomes empathic and stop being insensitive to our plights. And this is my angle. Thank you for joining me once again. Remain blessed.